Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Well, this is going to be another video on what if S was smart or smarter or something like that. So this is going to be the fifth video of this series, and you haven't seen the playlist, so you can just check out on my channel, or you can go the playlist option on the channel. You can find out about the whole series and many more other ones. So let's begin today's video.
Bajo.
It's been a week since Ash and his Pokemon at another clearing getting ready for their evening session. There was an air of excitement around the camp. Fallible with the constant training and battling had mastered recently. Ash was about to have her start learning a new move the next day, as she wanted her to spend the training session practicing her old moves. He didn't want her getting rusty anytime soon or at all. Dratini too had made a breakthrough in learning Twister. He had successfully learned to channel his draconic energy to displace the air around him. He had even started forming a small twister. Now all that remains is for him to put some more power into that move than control it. He should have it down by time they reached Future City in a week. Pikachu was in a similar situation when it come to Electro Ball. He had managed to form a small electrical orb. Now all that is left is for him to increase its power and control the increased power. Similar to the Trini, as expected Pikachu to master this move by the end of this week. Eevee was as expected. Having the toughest time in a week, all she managed to do was identify the natural ghostly energy. Now she was start learning to harness it. It will probably still take her a long time to learn this move, but despite all this, the excitement was causing us a result of this morning training session. After 10 days of constant training, Pikachu tail had finally turned metallic at the end of the session. Instead of normal training session in the evening, his Pokemon would work on Iron Tail, as hoped that Pikachu would pass on his experience to Eevee and Brittany, and they could make the breakthrough in the learning of Iron Tail as well. And as wish was granted, us an hour later, Eevee, Pikachu, and Brittany trails all glowed silver when they hit the tree trunk with their tails. For now, their tails glowed for 2 to 3 seconds, and after that, they go back to normal. They needed to work on making their tail metallic for long enough they could want it, and then work on the power behind the move. But still, it was work on progress. To speed up the process, each of them may move to a different tree, start training against them. However, as soon came to regret the decision as he heard something that no trainers want to hear, the angry buzzing of a bee. It looked like the tree Pikachu chose to practice was a beetle nest filled with Weedle, Kahuna, and beetles. Now they were angry and they wanted revenge against Ash and his Pokemon. Fuck! Ash cursed, we need to get out of here. Ash shouted as he started running away from the nest, his Pokemons following him, but while Weedle and Kahuna were happy to stay where they were, the Beedles were not. They ran after Ash and his Pokemon. Some of them released poison stings attack at Ash, who was not expecting anything at all, and while still ducking from those attacks, he tried covering his body with his arms in futile attempts to save himself. But the expected pain did not come. Instead, Ash heard a gut-wrenching cry of pain from his fellow. Ash opened his eyes to see her already knocked out. Poison, one of the main weaknesses of the fairy-type Pokemon, and Fable took the multiple attacks head-on without a thought about her safety, and this pissed Ash off. He was content with trying to run away at first, hoping that Vidil would leave him and his Pokemon alone, but that had not happened. Instead, one of his Pokemon, a member of his family, was badly injured. Pikachu blasted them away, detonized, paralyzed them. Eevee used quick attack at the paralyzed Vidil and knocked him out. Commanded as a sea returned favorable, Pikachu released a powerful Thunder Shock, angered by the attack on his teammate. It was powerful enough to knock out Beedrill, or at least the Beedrill that attack struck. The rest dodged the attack and charged up a twin needle attack. They were momentarily pushed back by Destiny Thunder Wave, but the majority of them dodged this attack as well. They charge again, but Pikachu has recovered enough to hit them with another Thunder Shock. Eevee and Brittany were trying their best to help, but their lack of offensive moves were rather telling in this battle. Eventually, the number of beat drill was showing us as we saw them start at surrounding Pikachu, so as Pikachu pushed them slightly back with another Thunder Shock, as rushed forward to cover Pikachu body with his own. The Beetle continued attacking, not paying heed to whether they were attacking a human or Pokemon. The Beetle were suddenly blown back by a powerful twister attack sent by an enraged Brittany, who was absolutely furious about the attack on his trainer. By the time the Beedrill left, Ash and Pikachu, because of the twin star attack, as body was covered in wealth, he knew that he had been poisoned as well. He had to finish this battle and soon, or might not make it. He turned to Destiny with a proud smile on his face, despite the amount of pain he was in. His Pokemons had surrounded him and were glaring at Beedrill with a look of hatred on their faces. He had never seen his Pokemon so angry in his life before. Congratulations, Brittany, you have finally learned Twister. Now, how about we finish this battle? Eevee, use Helping Hand or Brittany. Brittany, use Twister once you recover the boost. Eevee helping hand on Pikachu. Pikachu Thunder Shock repeated till the Beedrills are unconscious. Helping hand was a move that raised the allies' power by half, and it showed its effectiveness here. Detani, Twister, and Pikachu's Thunder Shock combined to form an electric fight twister that knocked the Beedrill unconscious. Once done, all three turned to look at Ash with look of concerns on their faces. Ash turned through his backpack and removed an antidote and a painkiller for humans and swallowed it with them with some help of water. He turned to the three of them to ask if they were okay. They nodded their head before making sounds of distress, looking at Ash's wound with concern. Human had much more delicate body than Pokemon after all. He smiled at them, assured before saying, I will be fine, guys. A good night's rest and I will be right as rain tomorrow. Can you find a place for us to camp for the night? I will heal fallible till then. While Destiny left to go for look for a shelter, as spared Pikachu with a potion, which it was miraculous that Pikachu was not poisoned. He was still covered with bruises. Next, he released Fable, and it was obvious that despite being unconscious, she was in pain. It hurt her as to see her like that. Even the usual aloof, Evie was doing her best to help Fable in any way she could, as injected her with a full heal to help her with the potion before giving her a revive. Fable barely opened her eyes. She was glummed by Ash. I'm so sorry you were hurt like that, Fable. You were so brave taking that attack for me. Thank you. Fable, she said as she waved her tiny arms around. Ash released her only for her to get the similar treatment from Pikachu and Eevee. Destiny joined in too when he returned from finding a place to sleep for tonight. As, as that his wound, he looked at his team talking to each other with pride. They had just been through their first top team test and managed to pass it. While things looked decay for a moment, his team had pulled through with only minor injuries. Ash opened his eyes barely to see the sun in the sky already. It was the day after the Beadle incident, and Ash could be forgiven for the sleep in for the first time in more than 3 years. Ash groaned as he got up, his body stiff and aching from the many bruises he had collected yesterday. His poking nap showed the time to be 10 a.m. to be exact. As stretched his stiff body as he got up, but stopped short when he turned to the clearing. He saw his Pokemon working hard despite the rain that had started falling last night. From the tired look of their body, they had been at it for quite a while as well. Pikachu, Eevee, Detani were determined to get Iron Tail working on their tail up with a metallic seen and stayed like that for almost 10 seconds, more than doubling the maximum time they could hold it for yesterday. Favorable was going about alternating between using Vine Whip, Fairy Wind, and Razor Leaf, as had never been more proud of his Pokemon but decided to stop training now. All his Pokemon looked exhausted. He called out a good morning to his Pokemon and called them to him. He was nearly bowled over by four of them, greeting him before moving back simply. Good to see you guys too. Ash laughed. I see you guys are training without me today. His Pokemon nodded before looking at Ash with concern about his condition. Ash smiled at them assuredly before telling them he was feeling better and would be a good as new in few days. After that, they had breakfast while interacting with each other happily. It took the whatever small differences were there before were gone now, and all of them were bonding like a true family. As were ecstatic that his dream of him and his Pokemon behaving like a family was already coming true. After Ash and his Pokemon finished their breakfast, Ash decided to continue traveling. The rain had slowed down to a slight fizzle by now, and Ash didn't want to waste any more time. Ash had returned all his Pokemon other than Pikachu to their Pokeball as they wanted rest as well. Pikachu hopped on Ash's shoulder as he started walking toward exit of the Viridian forest. They had spent at least 10 days in the forest and it was enough for Ash. He wanted to leave this place as soon as possible. 5 days later, Ash was close to exit of the forest. It was an hour or so away according to the map. It has been an eventful week so far. His Pokemon has taken to training with a new intensity after the close call with Beedrill. The physical conditioning training that Ash put his Pokemon through was finally showing some effect. Pikachu was faster than what he was 4 weeks ago. When they start their journey, EV2 was getting faster, especially after learning quick attack. Favorable and Detani were getting used to fluidly dodging attacks thrown at them, and all four Pokemons were getting used to hitting a moving opponent with their moves. This was improving their accuracy and the speed of their attack. It also seemed like Pikachu is teaching the Iron Tail to EB and Destiny at the same time was beneficial in the end. They had developed a competition among themselves as to who would learn the move quickest. As a result, all ended up learning the move on the same day, which was in fact yesterday. Pikachu had almost mastered Electro Ball. He was able to pour enough power to make the Electro Ball now. He just had to control it. Eevee was still struggling with a Shadow Ball while Favorable and Destiny started learning new moves. Favorable started learning Magical Leap, a special type attack. This attack is similar to Razor Leap, however, the difference is that while in Razor Leap you hurl leaves at your opponent, in Magical Leap the leaf hone it on the target and never misses. It's an attack that can never be dodged, only countered. that any dragon type attacks. Now she was learning one of the moves, Dragon Rage. Now that he had learned how to channel and control his dragonic energy, Ash thought that giving him another dragon type move will be a good idea. Dragon Rage is move is which is concentrate his draconic power and shoot it at his opponent. Now that they had learned Iron Tail, Ash was going to concentrate on teaching his Pokemon one move at a time. It was more efficient progress and the Pokemon was less tired at the end of the day. Ash throughout the process was disturbed when Pikachu called out to him. His sharp ears picked out the rustling too. Ash leapt suddenly from the bushes. A boy wearing a fake looking samurai's gear shot out, swinging his sword at Ash. Before he could reach 3 feet near Ash, he was blasted by a powerful thunder shock from Pikachu, who was angry at the audacity of another human attacking his trainer. What the hell do you think you're doing by swinging your fucking sword like that? Ash demanded angrily. I just wanted to know if you were Pallet Town, and if you were, I want you to challenge Pokemon battle. As the fake samurai groaned, there are better ways to summon to challenge for a Pokeball battle. As it spoke out furiously. You don't seem to understand. I am a fucking samurai. This is our way of challenging someone to battle. It doesn't matter. Are you a trainer from Pallet Town? Yes, I am. Why do you want to know that? My name is Samurai and I live in this forest. I have challenged 3 trainers from Pallet Town and lost to all of them. I have to regain my honor. It seems like Guy already has been beaten by Gary, Leap, and Jonathan. As mused, well, why not? His Pokemon could use experience, and Ash wanted to know how stacked up against his hometown rival. Plus, money he would earn on winning the battle would go on his funds for Mighty M. Sure, why not? What are the rules? Before that, I would like you to know my name. Oh, my name is Ash Ketchum and I am from the Pallet Town. 2 on 2, no substitutions are allowed. Cool, you're up, buddy. Pinsir, I choose you. This is surprise, as Princess was one of the most powerful bug type Pokemon. Also, it was not from Viridian Forest, so Ash wonder where this fake samurai got it from. Regardless, it should be an interesting battle. It would let Ash know if he's training his Pokemon well, since all the previous battles were ridiculously simple. He snapped out of his thought as he focused on the battle. Pinsir used Voice Grip, dodged with Quick Attack, and used Thunder Wave. As quickly said to Pikachu. Pikachu easily dodged Pinsir's Wise Grip attack. Pinsir was too committed to his attack and easily fell prey to Thunder Wave attack. Its limb locked up to in the paralysis state and it snapped angrily, massive jaws in frustration. No, Pinsir tried to use Wise Grips again. Hit it with a quick attack. Once it's down, use Iron Tail. Finish it with another quick attack if the pincer is still conscious. As committed calmly, sure he had this victory on his hand. The pincer tried violently to hit Pikachu with a wide grip, but honestly stood a chance. No. So it's slower than Pikachu normally forget about catching him while it was paralyzed. Pinsir could just stand there and take powerful quick attacks which pushed it to its back. It blasted helplessly as Pikachu glowed tail smashed on his chest before unconscious blissfully overcame him. Alright Pikachu, that was amazing. The pincer stood no chance against you. Ash exclaimed happily. Pikachu. Your Pikachu is strong, but it will not be able to defeat my next Pokemon. The samurai growled out in frustration. Go Metapod. Metapod has best defense in and only made stronger by hardening attack. Your Pikachu can keep hitting it, but it will do no damage whatsoever to my Megapod. You will never be able to defeat me this way. He boasted before counting. Use hardened Metapod. Metapod glowed brightly, signifying the body hardening while as grown at another meeting. Ridiculous process of he was in a no mood to deal with this, so he quickly snapped out because he used thunder shock. Keep at it till Metapod faints, and in just some shocks. The Metapod who cried out in pain before falling unconscious under just 2 seconds. But how? How did you get past my ultimate defense? The samurai growled out in frustration, not being able to process what the fuck just happened. Are you being serious? As asked, finally getting frustrated with the through process after hearing it every day for the past 2 weeks. You do know the harding only lessen the damage from a physical attack, right? It has no effect on a special attack like thunder shock. On top of that, it only slightly lessen the power behind physical attack. Even you continue to use harden, my Pikachu would have easily beaten it with using its iron tail attack as lectured in frustration. Samurai looked down proud as a lecture. I thought I could have challenged you since you are a novice trainer, but you have just shown me how much of a novice I am. He suddenly looked at us in his eyes and thanked him for the battle, as I really learned a lot from you. As could heard the sincerity in his voice. No problem. Say you lived here, right? Do you know how far the exit from the forest is? The map says about an hour, but I just wanted to confirm. Your map is right actually. You followed the trail from an hour or so, and you should reach the exit. Are you looking for the gym trainer, bro? Thank you. And yes, I am. This is going to be my first gym battle. Is that so? Then I wish you a best of luck. Goodbye. With that, samurai walked away, probably toward his house. Thank you. As called out at the retreating back, he turned to Pikachu and said, "Let's go. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of this forest." The Pikachu murmured in agreement. So guys, this is it for today, and if you haven't subscribed my channel, then subscribe and turn on the bell icon, and don't forget to check out my playlist so you can find many videos, series, and complete series of these videos if you are watching this really late. So thanks for watching.